just the garbage pickup, it's the...
Yeah, the solid waste we keep, but the wastewater treatment plant we lose.
Yeah.
But as far as the income, we might drop in the revenue, but we'd also drop in the expenses. So it'd be...
Which has been phenomenal.
Absolutely. So,
How will it affect the employees?
but all of the employees have already, they'll be going to work with this, they'll probably be hiring additional people because they're buying 3 sewage plants that's wore out, 3 water plants that's wore out, and all these pipes. We've been fixing breaks and water lines today, and pipes that's 40 years old, and sewage lines, flushing and stuff. They're buying a bucket of worms. I mean, that's good for them.
Carl, could I ask you a couple of questions about this interconnect? As a resident and as a business owner, my biggest concern would be, like the council, that the city would lose the profits on the water and the sewer. Okay, this new utilities that's set up, the profits that would come from putting the 3 cities together, couldn't the profits be divided and sent back into each additional city to help them recover the loss of revenue that they're giving up? Or is this utility district going to be set up as a non-profit
It's non-profit.
utility?
It's a non-profit. It's not a profit-making. It's...
Okay, but isn't that the way the 3 cities are set up now, as a non-profit, but yet you're making money on it?
No, I question that now because there's really no profit in water and sewage because of the condition of the equipment. If we had top-of-the-line equipment, we would be making money. We're not. Like, we were putting $9,000. Let's see, we had 3 orders of deal pack just in the last month.
In the last 21 days.
21 days. One was for 12,000, one was for 14,000, and one was for 9,000.
Okay, so
21 days.
So the new utility district's going to be set up as a non-profit then. So in other words, the rates are just going to be set high enough to cover the operating costs. Is that what you're saying?
The rates are already set up to cover the operating costs, and that's the same thing that goes forward with them.
Okay.
They even said that rates may even go down from what they are.
They could, because they have to pick up a lot more customers.
Okay. Another question for you, and you may not be able to answer this. It's just I'm trying to get it clear myself on what's happening to the 3 towns. The employees that you currently have working at the water plant, do they also work in maintenance?
No.
They're not double duty employees?
No.
So we won't be losing regular maintenance workers?
No. I did consolidate the water sewage maintenance people. There was 4, okay, and then with the city maintenance 4, I put 8 people together to do all the work within the city. That way we could have a combined force at whatever number we needed. But now 4 of those people will go with the water and sewer.
Okay.
But that's the people that were working on the pipes and water lines and things like that. But they will be transferred. We'd keep 4 people in the maintenance department, and 1 CDL truck driver and a supervisor. That's what we'd have in the maintenance department.
If it's going to be a non-profit deal, then what I wanted to do is not going to benefit anything. I just felt like, you know, we need to get these little towns rely heavily on water and sewer and garbage. Benham, Lynch, same way you are, and it just seems to me like that the 3 cities would look at some way of recouping some revenue there some way or another.
We asked about that before, and they said that there wouldn't be any money coming back to the city.
Yeah, it's a completely separate entity.
Said they would take that money and improve.
But all the money would go back into the system.
Well, thing about too, it's my understanding that you're only looking at right now you're going to receive what, $1,100,000.
$1,100,000.
And the entire cost of this thing is going to be in the neighborhood of how much?
About, I'd say at least $11 million.
So, I mean,
that's in 6 months, or we'll eventually build 1 sewage plant, and will eventually have one water plant. But that's when they'll make.
So where's this additional money coming from, Carl? I mean, I'm just trying to.
Fuel water, it's gonna be a bond issues, and that,
And the commission will take on the bond.
and the commission will take on, the commission takes on all the debts and the bonds.
Okay, so that was my next question to you. You say the city of Cumberland, I mean, whenever I was with you all years ago, the city was deep in debt on these bonds.
We still have $2 million debt right now.
Okay, you still got $2 million debt. Does the utilities
Yeah, that takes-
assume that?
Yeah,
Same in Benham, same in Lynch?
same.
So they assume everybody's debt load.
That's what they told us whenever they came here. Well, I wasn't up here.
That's what-
They
did say that.
That's
They
what
did say that.
He said they would
Will
assume
there
all
be
this.
any
And he also
increase in
said
water?
that they could not spend money
They
or
said-
or
Is this
do
money
anything
gonna level
without
up where
going to that city
much is coming through the door
and
and
getting it
going
okay
out?
for those. But we never saw any of the money. See what I'm saying? The city still has word, he still has word in it, but that's it.
Like right now, see, we have on that bond issue, we have a $37,000 payment due the first day of January. They extended it until March the 31st though. And in March the 31st, if we didn't make the bond, they'll start receivership. I don't know how that,
Well, again, Carl, as a business owner and a resident of Cumberland, I don't see how the three towns are going to survive if we don't do this.
that's,
No.
You know, and so you really don't have a choice.
I know there's no.
None of the cities have the money to maintain their systems like they should.
Yeah. Okay, that's all I got.
Well, we took a vote on that last resolution, it's complete.
No.
No.
I made a motion.
We didn't know the 275.
Benny second. Just need a roll call.
Okay, Ben second. Need roll call vote.
Elliott,
Is this on resolution 272? Yes.
Bogus,
Yes.
Dixon,
Yes.
Graham,
Yes.
Haynes,
Yes.
and Hall.
Yes.
Okay, let's hear that. I think, right now, Mike has, wants to point out some things about, vehicle usage and parking. But on the vehicle usage, let me explain this first. You know, back in about 4 months ago, the city council voted to allow, the police department any officer in the police department living less than 10 miles or less from here, to take their vehicles home. But the minutes never did record the vote. So if you all don't mind, I'd like to have another motion to allow the police department's officers living less than 10 miles from the city to be able to take their vehicles home. And I need a vote in a minute, because that's an exception to the ordinance, and if somebody ever challenges it, I would need some kind of evidence to show the council.
Was he gonna discuss it first? So
I laid out a lot of information for you guys in case you had questions. I wanted to be prepared for anything that you had to answer. But we did this, the mayor asked me, I didn't have a problem with it. He told me I could come before the council and ask. It was in April 2010 is when we discussed it the first time, and it was voted unanimously. As long as we live within 10 miles, we could take the cruisers back and forth home for no other personal use but to get back and forth home and to the job in case we were called out. But the reason I got all that stuff together for you was in case you needed any type of information. We've actually reduced gas costs, and I wanted to show some other issues that pros on taking the vehicles home. And